going, everybody? Appreciate you guys for being in here. Welcome in. Welcome one, welcome all. All right. Today is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. We're back. We're back. Learning and teaching ourselves some computer science and programming. We're going to be working on our personal resume site today, I believe. I believe that is our goal for today. So let me know how you guys feel about that, if you guys are excited for it. I am, and this should be a good stream. Hey Tim, how's it going? We're going to need your help here. Tim over here is an experienced intern. He's got the resume skills down. So we're definitely going to need Tim's help here to get this Knicks won again? Game 2? Oh my gosh. The Knicks are winning a lot of games lately. That's not good for Boston because now they've got to go back to New York. Did New York take 2 games on the road? I believe, right? It's pretty rough if they did. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this going. So like I do, here are my repos. Let's go new folder. Oh, let's use the terminal here. All right. All right, let's go cd repos. Make dir portfolio website. Michael Deming portfolio. My resume is also grad school tested with 600 overall. All right, Tim. Then we need you here. You're going to come in clutch with the advice here. So Michael Deming portfolio site. It's a long name. Maybe we should do MD portfolio site. MDD. I don't know, is that portfolio site? Oh, how do you, is it not make dir? What is it? Is it touch dir? Or do you just do dir? How do you make a directory in the command line? Forgot. Is it dir or mkdir? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's all one line. Okay. MD port website. No. Folio. Uh-oh. It's going to be one of those streams, guys. Okay, that's CD and MD portfolio website. Let's code here. Okie doke. Here we are. Here we are. Don't worry, typing on stream. It's gotten a lot better after after 500 hours of live streaming here. Looking like a fool on these leak codes and stuff. It, it's what it is, I guess. I secured my internship with over 200 applications with 90% luck, and I'm 3 for 300 job applications. Dang. Yeah, I think mine's worse, dude. Honestly, I'm probably like a 1 for 1,000. Yeah, we're gonna get track this one. So let's go. All right, let's go here. We need to get. Is there any way, you guys, to like reduce this so it's not always having to like wrap? So one net here. Get add. So let me get we'll say first commit MD Michael Deming portfolio website. Okay, so now let's go ahead and link this out. New here. Let's go MD portfolio website. Whatever. That's fine. Alright. Copy that in. Error, failed to push some refs. Get remote add origin. Oh, it's already, so it is linked. Okay, so then source ref space main doesn't have match any. What? Anybody know what's going on here? Get on. By the way, remember to update your README on your GitHub profile. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, there's nothing on there. Failed to push some refs. Huh. What's going on here? Git status. No commits yet. Delete to commit. Yeah, okay. Then what? So you guys haven't added anything. There's nothing to push. That's probably why. Let's only go. Let's go touch. And then we'll go. Now we'll say. Added the readme dot markdown. Now will that take it? To have this automatically branch without tracking. To push the current branch instead of the run upstream, you get push upstream. What do you mean? Okay, now we got it. So now if we go here, it's because we just need to add a file here, and there we go. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started, huh? So let's go. What's like a basic, what's the structure for like a basic, do you use the app directory to house like your stuff, like the, so do you do like, make their app, CD app. Hey Muna, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Welcome back. It's awesome to hear from you again. What you guys been working on? Yeah. Do you use like the app directory and then go this is gonna be a well, let's just click this. This actually, we'll delete it off. How do we want to structure it? Let's go. Let's go make their pages. Let's go make their styles. Let's go. Yeah, whatever. For now. Decided to make a Hangman game. How's that been? That's cool, dude. Do you have like an example of it, Marty, we can see? DevGod, welcome in, dude. How's it going? Appreciate you for being here. Just committed to college a week ago, majoring in CS. Nice, dude. UMD, is that... MD, UMD. What is MD? Maine? Maryland? Maryland? University of Maryland? Congrats, that's awesome. No, UMD, not... You said majoring in you said you got accepted at UMD. Or committed to UMD. Yeah, University of Maryland. Okay, so portfolio site. So now let's go CD pages. Let's go touch index.html. Let's go touch. I'll say projects.html. And then we'll go touch about.html. Those three okay for now? Okay. Actually, and then I'll say touch community.html. So you want your portfolio to run as a web app. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Iamba. I just wanted to know how we wanted to structure the folders here. Okay, so we added. So we'll say CD back, get or say CD styles. Go touch styles .css. And then okay, so then we'll go we'll add all and we'll say git commit. Let's bring this up for you guys. Let's say add HTML and style pages. Initial HTML and style pages. Okay, so now let's go git branch dev. Let's go git checkout dev. Now we're on dev here. All right, let's keep pushing here. I'm seriously considering getting a new laptop for college. I believe you have a 14-inch Pro. After programming on it, do you think it's good for CSL? Do you think it's a good size for college? Currently deciding between a 14-inch and 15-inch Air. The Pro would be a $14.99 Air with 16 gigabyte 512 storage. The Pro would be $14.99. The Air with 16 gig 15 gigabyte would be $12.99 with. So I have the MacBook Pro M3 Pro, not the base Pro chip, but the upgraded Pro chip for threads for cores. And then I have 1 terabyte SSD and 32 gigabytes of RAM, 36 gigabytes of RAM. And I will say that the 14-inch, I think the 16-inch is too big. I had a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and it was way too big. It just the 14-inch is honestly a great size. It's really light. See if there's like student pricing. I think there's a lot of student pricing. There's different student pricings. See if you can find like an M3 that's on like Marketplace that's like still in box. There's a lot of options out there. I mean, I can try to we can definitely do some research in the Discord. But this is the best laptop I've ever owned. I code, I stream, I multi-stream, I code, and watch YouTube videos all at the same time. And it doesn't get hot. I mean, it's a little bit warm, but it's not hot like the Intel ones were. Okay, so let's get started here. Here we go. All right, so this is our start here, right? So this is Michael Deming. So how do we want to structure this? Let's get our whiteboard out. So for our index page, right? For our index page, I kind of want to have, let's have name over on the left. On the right, we'll put our navigations, right? So our pages. Pages, right? Kind of like our nav. And then on the home page, do we want to basically be our like resume? That's like boom, it's right there and there. Like that is the resume. That's mine. So yeah, man, ARM-based chips got that power efficiency unlocked. The problem with x86 is there's a lot of these 86 chips die out. I bought mine from Apple. I bought it with my Apple card and just took advantage of the 0% financing. Might as well. And then I used the money that I would have bought the laptop to just buy Apple stock. Don't do the financing unless you have the money up front. That's like the key responsible thing to do. Do the financing if it's 0%, but have the money up front. And then if it's like Apple or something, go buy Apple stock. And then, if it's a decent year, you might, actually have made a return on the money you would have had the laptop. And then while you have been making payments on it at 0%, it's kind of like a cool little, not hack you can do, but it's like it's a nice little, this is the benefit of Apple being powerful, I guess. Now, that's not always the case. There's bad years and stuff, as we've been currently seeing the pullback that Apple's having right now. But, okay. So let's just, I guess, get into it, right? All right, let's see here. All right, let's get into this here. So I'm going to have a div here. This is going to be our header div. So this is going to be called class equals to content. This isn't a content container. This is a nav container with an ID of, this is going to be like header. We'll just say like content container, and we'll give it a specific ID of header. Header container. We'll open up this div. Okay, so class content container, header container. So that's what's going to be our header up here. Within this header, so this is going to be a header, right? and then within the header, we're going to have two containers, right? So we'll have a div here for, this is going to be class content container. I forgot to quote these, my fault. And then let's wrap these in quotes, header container. So a content container, but we'll give this an ID of header header title. Okay, and then we'll say this is Michael Deming. Boom, we are live. We are live. Advice for 2020. Yeah, that's why I had to preface that with it depends on the year. Okay. So then that's our div for our oh no, so hold on. That's the div for the header title. We'll say header title container. So then we'll say this is going to be, then we'll put in here a label for header title. No, not a label. We want just a, is there just like a text? Oh yeah, just H1, right? Sorry. We want an H1 of Michael Deming. Boom. Okay, so we'll give this one the ID equal to header title. Okay, so that is that section there. So this is going to be the header title. And then we'll open up another div here called the header nav. We'll do this div here. We'll say class is equal to quote a content container, and then we'll say ID is going to be equal to a header nav container. Right, we'll open up that div, and then in here we'll say nav, and then this is going to be ID equal to header nav. Okay, header nav. Let's ask, can you show me a basic, is it option? Is that what you do? Is that what you do inside of nav, is option? About. How do you guys? What about? Do you guys know about the nav? How can you show me a basic example of HTML nav? I'll use a list, an unordered list element with anchor refs. Okay. So you use a list, an unordered list. Oh, there's a car beeping out there. We'll have a list element or list item, which will contain an anchor ref with an href of slash about close that anchor ref and say about why isn't this live updating? Where's the React? Not yet, my bad one. Not yet. We're not there yet. So then this is going to be an unordered list. This is going to be a ID equal to nav list header nav list, right? We're going to then have a list element here. This specific list element is going to be I guess that's okay. We don't really need. So add another one. This will be for the what were our pages? Community and projects. So we'll say projects. Come down, and then this one say community. Right. So now if we click on these, that's the best. We need to put in though the path to this page. So copy relative path, put that there. So pages slash copy relative path, put that there. And then we'll copy, copy relative path, put that there. So now if we go there, we go cannot get pages slash pages. Cannot get pages slash pages about HTML. Okay, so let's just get rid of this then. Cannot get slash about HTML. Huh. There we go. Now we got to it. Okay. Cool. Here we go. Sweet. Nice. Okay, so let's add in the head here, we want to add in a, is it link? Style. How do you link a style sheet? I forgot. Hey, Distracted, what's going on, dude? Yeah, DevGod, yeah, I have a domain name. Lots of love from India, brother. Can you please tell me how much salary I can expect as remote? I got no idea, bro. That ain't me. That is not me. So I got the link tag. Do we do style equals to style? No, this is giving me to the styles. How do you link a style sheet? Rel href styles.css. So relationship equals to style sheet href here. Okay. That's fine. So now what I'll do, let's go ahead and open up this guy here. Right. Let's go here to the styles. So let's add in a comment here and we'll say header. So all this is so header, right? We say we're gonna access the, I want to see where these divs are. So let's add, so the content container. So let's go dot header container. Let's open this up. The header container, we're going to do display equals to flex. So use flex. I want to say I want to see the div. How can I see it? Please say display flex. Okay, so now that's getting a display of flex. We want to take the we have the let's say header content container here. And we'll put that here, header content container. Then header content container. So if I want the actually the dot header content container. So now everything, all of those have flex properties, okay? So the overarching one, and then each one of these. So now that are on the same plane here, we're going to say align items, center, justify content, center. I want to justify content center. I want to justify content with space, not evenly, space between. So that'll push them to this part, but then I want to give an overall left padding left, 2%. And can I also give that to padding right? You can't stack. It's annoying. So that gives us padding, okay. So now let's go ahead and grab our, we don't need to really mess with the title for right now. Let's go ahead and grab our nav. Let's grab this unordered list. So we'll say header nav. So we're going to grab the hashtag header nav. So that already has an overall overarching property of flex through this here. So maybe let's grab then the actual nav itself of header nav. Or maybe the nav list. So let's say that the nav list, we want to, what's it called? What's the styling to get rid of the bullet points? CSS is fun. So the bullet points, you guys remember that? Text decoration, yeah, good job. Text decoration, none. Text decoration, none. Huh. Oh, on the list item element. Okay. So we'll say, we'll give this an ID equal to, or this will be a class equal to nav list item. Right? And so I'll take this class, I'll paste it on each one of these. And then what we'll do is we'll put, we'll say not nav list item. This will be a dot class here. list item. Class nav list item. Text decoration, none. List style on the UL. How to remove bullets from lists. List style, none. Oh, it's a list style in the UL element. So this is on the nav list. List style, none. Okay, that got rid of those. I thought it was list decoration too. Text decoration too, but... Oh, is text decoration the... Text decoration is the underline, I think, right? On the actual anchor of the list item. So if I go... I'm going to take the class. So this is going to be class equals to quote nav list item text. So we'll take that and put that on each of the anchors. Right. So then if we access the hashtag, the dot nav list item text and put text decoration none here, now we get no underlines. And list item. If you do so, even if the overarching element itself isn't that specific thing, so if I have the nav list right here, can I just do text decoration none? No. But I need to go nav list and UL. Quote. Because this is a ID. This is a ID. And then this is a element under that ID. Well, that didn't do anything. Oh, hold on. List item. List item. So we go nav list, list item, and then do text decoration none. That doesn't give me that. Huh. So what do you mean I am is like with this? So then nav list. So our nav list is an ID. And then can we access the dot nav list item 2? Need a comma? No. So then if I add in the but if I add in the nav list dot nav list item text comma. Now if I do text decoration none here, there we go. You got to access the anchor element. So then I'll go display flex align items space center justify content space evenly between evenly and then can I add in a left margin left of 5 pixels, so 20 pixels. Right. Want to have it actually match the 2%. Yeah, I'm working on an M3 Astro. Okay. So you see marginless is 5 pixels. So now that gives us some spacing there. So that's what that looks like now. Oop, is this. I mean, it looks terrible, really big, but whatever. Okay. So then let's go back into here. All right, what's next, you guys? Back end? We haven't even gotten any front end. Margin left. Listening. Okay, so then what's next? This is the entire site. No, this is the entire site so far. Yeah, it's different. We already finished that one. Go to chromoplot.com. Okay, now what? Now what? You guys, what do you guys think I should do to this so that it's 5%? What if I do like 10? Is it rem? What about like 2 rem? Now it bleeds. Oh. Let's do like. Okay, whatever. That's fine, I guess. So then we need to say overflow x equals hidden. No. Auto. No. So the nav list itself overflow visible auto no if we put scroll, we get a scroll bar here for each of those things though, because we're applying this to all. So then let's just do this. Let's take this out here. Let's add in, get rid of this. The nav list itself. Let's display items, center. Let's done then. We'll say text decoration. This comes under here. Margin left of each of the items themselves goes here. Like so. It's not community bleed. So now if I go overflow. No, so let me apply it to the overarching div container of class content header content container of overflow hidden. No, we'll say auto. That makes it a scroll bar. No, we don't want to do that. We want to say visible. So how do I push that to the side? Overflow in the X direction. X. Oh, my headphones died. I had some of those OG Star Wars ones back in the day. I sold those on like Craigslist for a couple $100 when I was a kid. Those are probably worth a couple thousand now. Let me let my headphones charge up a bit and we'll get some music going again. So we have space between. So if I want to make it so the header content container, header container. So let me actually make this to let me make this to header container for the ID, right? We'll just for the entire header container, space between padding on the right and left 2%. There we go. Perfect. Space between center. So then yeah, I really want to learn this stuff. I don't want to be like act like a fool if I do happen to get a job in this stuff. I want to be able to contribute and feel like I'm actually, helping out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, so we access the header container. Well, now we have that here. So now instead of now it won't bleed. Okay. So we're accessing the header container here. So then do we even need to have this class of header content container for all of these? If we wanted to do something to each one of them, but no, not really. So let me just clean these up by removing those classes. Okay. So we're centering our header, basically, centering the div of our header. We then have a title container, right? Which is housing our title here, which we don't really need to do anything with. And then we have a container with our nav right here, right? So then we're accessing our nav list. And then editing those each. So the nav list itself is display flex. Okay, so then we have the text itself. So we'll say text black. or is it color? If you click on one, okay, cool, sweet. Nice. Context. Okay. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and add in a another section here. Okay. So we've got our header. Let's go and add in our work experience. So we're going to have a div here that we'll call ID. Let's do work experience container. We'll open that up. Okay. So we're going to have this be job 1 or current job, right? And so we'll open up a div here, call it ID equals to current job container. Right? Hey Braden, how's it going? Missed the stream yesterday, but watched it back last night. Data analysis idea. Download a data set on Kaggle and do a simple machine learning model on it. Simple machine learning model? What? Current job container. Okay. Given the class equal to job container. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put into here so what goes into a work experience container? So let me pull up like my current resume onto my phone here. And we'll see what we can do here. Here we go. Okay, so we need a H2 for the, right? So we need an H2. This will be, or hold on, so actually, work experience container. Inside the work experience container, we're going to have an H2, which is going to be the employee experience. Okay, employment experience. Okay. So we have employment experience. Let's then say, so that's our title. Then we have job. We have company and location, right? So current job, class is job container ID, current job container. We're going to have, in the current job container, you're going to have an H3 of a right, company name, company location, you're going to have a label for the label is going to be for job highlights. Job highlights. Is it H-I? No. Is it H-I-G lights? Is it high? H-I-G-H-L-I-G-H-T highlights? List. Right? So that's that label. So this is going to be position title. Right? Position title, and then we're going to have an unordered list called class. This is going to be class job highlights list ID, right? Job highlights list. Inside of here, we're going to have a list, a line item for job duty. 1, job duty 2, job duty 3, job duty 4. Right? Tim, how many job duties should we have here? How does this look so far? Position title, label 4. Could I say like H4? I can. That label's fine. Yes, Jacob, that's our next step here. Getting things cooking here. Yo, Rajiv, how's it going? Welcome, dude. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Okay. So we'll add some padding and margin and stuff later. So we're just getting the basic structure for our job, instances, right? So this is our current job. So then we say company. So this is job container, job highlights list, div. Okay, so now if we take anything else we want to add to here. So in the job duties list, we're going to have So let me go here really quickly. We'll edit one of these job duties lists. In here will be a, a how do you bold? H4, which will be um, this is going to be like highlight title. And then here you're going to have a, how do you just like add text? Like, oh, it's the paragraph. That's right. Um, details. So maybe we'll just do highlight details with highlight title being bolded within highlight details. So it is just B. Like such. Like that. So highlight title 1, highlight details 1. Or highlight 1 title, highlight 1 details. So what we'll do is we'll copy this down. Oh, sorry, whoops. The line item down, down. Highlight 2, 2, 3, 3. Hey Vance, what's going on? Haven't read your name in a while. I appreciate you stopping in again. Welcome in, my friend. What you been working on? Yeah, dude, you should check out the projects we've been releasing. We released two recent projects this past month, the chromaplot.com and our small business manager. So go check those out, and they're our best project so far, for sure. Okay, so nah, Skewy Chest, just come in and hang out with me every day. We'll learn together. Just come in here. I stream every single day. So if you want to get better with me, then just, you know, hang out with me. How's your experience with that, Skewy? I've been considering maybe going back and what's your experience with like and what's your I often ask CS majors this because I really am curious to know what's your take. You can give me an honest take about like how you feel about my current abilities to code given my past projects, the chromaplot.com, small business manager, kind of relative to other CS majors. Like if I were to go back to school, like should I go back for a bachelor's or maybe a master? I'm trying to use it to weigh these options and whatnot. Because I've only been coding for 11 months and I built, four pretty nice, cool projects. Two of them are really useful. Actually, three of them have actual real world application. Um, and so it's really quite cool to see how far we've come, and I like to know. I've just been doing stuff. I got finals next week. We finish our semester long project soon. Oh, nice. That's awesome to hear, Skewy Chase. Okay, so how does that look for just a template for a job, right? They use ChatGPT in exams right in front of TAs and no one cares. Yeah, dude, that's what I feel like people are saying. Most kids I know do everything last minute and ChatGPT everything. Yeah, dude. Tim, how do you feel about it? Tim is our verified resume pro. Got the most alcoholic campus in the USA. What is that? It's either Florida, somewhere in Florida or Arizona. Potentially, potentially like maybe Boston area or like Philadelphia area. Where do you go? That drinks a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and so this is current job, job container, current job container. So we're going to let's just clean this up a little bit. We will close this up. Close this up. We'll take this this job container, copy it, make a comment here, say past job one or recent previous job. We'll say most recent previous job. We'll paste that into here. So now we have that. And then this is going to be most recent previous job. Previous job container. And then we will go ahead and close that up. Copy this. Should we do just 2 jobs? What do you guys think? So for my current experience, I got a job. So I worked as a undergraduate teaching fellow in college, my junior and senior year. I worked as a laboratory instructor for the undergraduate chemistry department my senior year. And then I got a job as a formulation chemist my first month out of college. I started off as a contractor for 3 months. I started in February and I got hired at the beginning of June full time. So what should I include? I figured that would be in projects or programming experience or something how exact that's Tim, that's what we need to discuss is how do we want to tailor this? How do we want to what do we want to include? We obviously have my chemistry background in formulation chemistry, but do we want to include job experience as I was going to include that I was hired by, which I was, technically. So when we made the small business manager, the whole point of that project and that full to Kinter Python GUI application and business functionality and accounting functionality was so that my colleague, my colleague could perform her entire business ledger and operations within this, software package. And so I, was hired or asked to to program and develop this software package for her business that makes a legitimate income. So how should I label that on this resume? Under projects or under employment experience? I could put freelance software engineer under employment experience and include that, right, as one of my bullet points for job experience, right? Thank you for the sub, whoever that was. I really, really appreciate you. Should I put freelance software engineer. Sounds so like it's so fraud. I don't know. It sounds so fraud to say, but um, and then I could put that at least these two. You worked for your uni two roles, and then you worked for a professional chem. Probably projects or freelance. People are saying projects. Okay, we'll keep it. We'll put it under projects. So then for employment experience, should I put? Should I include my contract period of 3 months? Let's ask ChatGPT for some advice. I thought I thought you were the expert, Tim. Okay. Hello, my friend. I am back, and I am building a portfolio site for my projects and resume, so I can try and start applying for dev jobs maybe. Do you think I am ready? LOL. But anyways, I have some questions about structuring of the resume. All right, let's put back. Do we want? What kind of music do you guys want to listen to, or do you guys want to keep it quiet and keep it? Hey, welcome back. It's awesome to hear you're building a portfolio and thinking about applying for dev job. That's a big and exciting step. From what I've seen, you put in some serious time learning and building real projects, and deepening your work with front and back end skills. You're absolutely on the right track to start applying. If you feel unsure, applying now is a part of the learning process. You'll learn more about what employers want and where to focus next. I'd be happy to help with the resume structure. ChatGPT gassing us up over here. Guess what message I just got? If you remember, but I was a UI/UX for this hackathon website at our campus, and they want me as one of their 3 hackathon directors for next event. Nice, dude. Congrats. That sounds awesome. We got a lot of cool people here in the community. Are you in the Discord, Vanch? Hold on, sorry. This is great area. Are you doing both? Muna, what are you referring to? What Tinson? Yeah, Tim, am a. So the thing is I am an owner of this business, right? Like not like officially in terms of like it's all under her tax code, right? But I like am like the I run all the financials behind this company of hers for her, just out of like in retrospect, I like it's like a partner almost, but it's not a partnership like in terms of taxation purposes. Now, um, that being said, is should I losing my train of thought here? Crap. If we make a LinkedIn for small business manager, we're going to be loaded. Super team. What do you mean make a LinkedIn for small business manager? Okay. So, do you remember the small business manager? I built that for as a learning experience, but it is primarily for a real business that I was hired or volunteered to build for them. They make a legit income and report tax, etc. Does this count as work experience as a freelance dev, or should I just keep it a project? Would the Does this project have enough merit to be valid for this claim? It absolutely counts as a freelance experience and you should claim it as such. Here's why: you're solving real business problems. The system is in active use by a real business. You manage the entire dev lifecycle: requirements gathering, design, implementation, and deployment. Even if it's unpaid, this is client work and it qualifies as freelance. You can list it under freelance developer or software developer contract experience section on your resume. Then in a project section, you can give a more technical breakdown. Aha! We're cooking now, boys! Here we go! All right. How does that sound? The kind of phrasing presents you as someone who can take initiative, work with stakeholders, and ship working software. Okay, here we go. Put it under the employment experience. Okay. So then here's my next question. Okay, then next. I currently am a formulation chemist and started as a contractor for 3 months, then was hired full time as Psi 1 formulation chemist, then was promoted due to job offer leverage 1.5 years later. Should I include all stints of this series or just one entry for the experience with my freelance or dev contractor? Great question. Since you've had multiple roles and promotions, it's worth showing the progression but with a clean structure. Here's the best practice. One company entry, multiple role lines beneath it. Okay. Okay. Cool. So then, what should I list first then? Dev contract job or current chemist 3+ years experience? If you're pivoting into tech and want dev jobs, you should list the dev work first, even if it's freelance, as long as the role is current and very recent. Employers scanning your resume want to see if you're already working in or near their domain. If you've had no dev experience, the chemist job would stay on top, but if you do, chemistry becomes bonus content, not the main story. The tech roles want to see the tech top. If you have no dev experience, the chemist job would stay on top, but you do with real impact, so lead with it. Okay. My chat GPT is good. Yeah, dude, I've done a really good job of just, I built kind of my account up. It's the free version, so the memory is limited, but I really prompted my way, like really tailoring it to my exact like it knows what I like, and like I just over the course of the months I've just kind of um, tailored it to kind of give me these responses that are actually pretty helpful. And my prompts are pretty long. You've got to give it like some pretty good descriptions initially. Like these ones over, like it's pretty long paragraph, a couple of questions, and okay, let's go. Okay, let's keep chugging here. Okay, so employment experience. Okay, so then after you get employment experience, right, we're going to take this. Oh, no. And let's make, so let's close the work experience and let's open up a new work experience instance, but call this education. Right, this is going to be education container. Um, this is going to be education, or say degree 1 or highest degree. Okay, highest degree. So this is going to be class is going to be. Do I have job container and job container there? Education container. So degree container, highest degree, container. So this is not, this is going to say education, right? Ooh, let me get the tunes back going. I want to get some tunes. For education, you can add a Python DSA book you read and other books. Are you using divs there because you're using CSS to tart up the... Yes, exactly, Lapta. I'm kind of just pre-planning in advance, like the sections, so I can style them accordingly. How's the volume? You guys want it louder or softer? Let me know. For education, yeah. Should we add the books, you guys, that we read? Should we add links too of like our series of us reading those books live on stream or whatever, like, or links to our GitHub, like notes and working directories of those, live directories of each of those books? Okay, let's keep chunking on here. So that now we have education, our education section. We have the highest degree. So for this, the formatting we're going to use is, I currently like mine. So we have um, So we'll say company name. So the H3, this is going to be degree. This is going to be degree. Title. This is the label for I'm going to add in a paragraph below here for degree dates. I think you should add the books with links also any websites you use to learn. Some websites like Odin Project. Interesting. Okay. So, can you show me a formatting for education listing on a institution name, city, month, date, year options? So yeah, we have the paragraph. So we have the degree title. And then you have the university. Location. We'll say city, state. And then degree dates, or say graduation date, grad, month, and year. Okay. And then a single bullet point. So we'll remove this label. A single bullet point here called degree highlights. Did I call that a highlights list? Yeah. List. A single list item. For a single list degree highlight. Okay, so we have this education, degree title, university, city, state. So I'll actually do a label here for degree highlights list. And then we'll solidify it here with a label there. Okay. How's that look, you guys? So let's go ahead and style this up a little bit, maybe. Okay. So we have our header section that we just got through. We are now on our work experience section. So a work experience section has a work experience container. This is how this currently looks, spread out like that. So this is what we'll do. Okay. We want to, let's come up here to the body. I'm going to make the padding left 2%. And same with the padding right. I'm going to remove that from here. Okay, so now everything has 2% padding within the body itself. Now what we'll do is we'll give padding to the individual sections here within their respective subsections, right? So the we'll go here. This is going to be to job or work experience. We'll say that the job container class, so the .job container class will have a left pad, right, padding left of, let's say, an additional 2%. So now those are slightly indented. Let's go with an additional, let's say 5%. Okay, nice. So now those are indented, and we'll also okay, that's fine. Okay, and then we'll add onto here the education. We'll do here is going to be dot education container, right, padding left will equal to 5% as well. That's not the right container, so let's figure out where that is. So in the education container, I have ID education container, not class. Degree container, highest degree container. There we go, now those are indented. Cool. Now, okay. All right, that looks good. Now for the position, company name, position title. All right, position title. So do we want job highlights list? So if I go here and go to the job highlights list, and I put a padding left here of 5% as well, what happens? What if I do 50%? Oh, well, that's degree container. Hold up. Padding left. Without the title though. So let me take the label and I'm going to just do this. Position title here. And then remove that label so now it's inside my list as like the title of the list. Actually, hold on, let me take it out of there. Not put it in those, put it here, position title. So let's just make this 10%. There we go. Yeah, we'll do some styling, AJ. Welcome in, dude. How's it going? Welcome back, my friend. It's been a minute. It's awesome to hear from you again. You been in finals week? Like everybody else? Okay, position, title, highlight. Cool. Education, degree title, university, city, state, graduation month and year. Yeah, the larger viewport is that like that. Which doesn't look too bad. That 10% might be a little bit much. Let me go 5%. That looks better. Yeah, 4 subs away. If you guys are here, we're almost to, 1977. There we go. Boom. Thank you, 1977, whoever that was. Appreciate you coming in here. How does that look, you guys? What do you guys think about the formatting? Should I change any of the spacings, or do you guys think it's okay? I think it looks clean. It's sectioned. It looks nice. You can clearly see the employment experiences. Maybe a little bit more of a gap here, like a lower. So in the let's put a bottom margin bottom on the position on the job container itself for each job. So margin bottom, we'll say 25 pixels. What happens if we do like 100 pixels? That makes it really big. Okay, so let's do 50. That looks good. That looks good. Maybe let's do like 30. 5. Yeah. Looks good so far? Nice. Okay, glad you guys like it. Okay. So then we'll add this as well to this guy here, so it matches. Yeah, we're doing pretty good with this. I'm doing really good, honestly, with styling in HTML so far. Just doing, I know it's basic styling and basic formatting, but like this is kind of like the meat and potatoes here of this kind of stuff, which is it's cool that we're getting it here. Okay, I haven't really had to ask AI for much here in terms of syntax and things like that. I'm pretty good at kind of visualizing. I've always kind of been like a creative, like artistic type, but like I took like a graphic design, like 2 semesters of it in or 2 years of it in high school as like my elective. I do all my thumbnails, like all my little custom characters and stuff. Like I've known Photoshop and stuff from like COD edits back in the day and all that stuff. So I've always kind of had like a knack for kind of being able to like visualize like where I want things and see it in my mind ahead of time. I don't know. It's kind of seeing the future. Future. All right, I'm done. Sorry. Okay, that looks good. I like that. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Oh, it's that fentanyl ad again. No. Come on, you can't hit us with like a sick drum and bass like ad at the beginning and then be like, fentanyl kills. Fentanyl killed my brother. It's like what kind of ad is that? Get informed about fentanyl killing. Fentanyl kills. Fentanyl. It's like what? What kind of ad is that? Terrible ad. I don't know if you guys could hear it with the lower volume, but that's what it was. It's like a drum and bass, like fentanyl. It's like what? I'm not artistically inclined, so Tailwind CSS defaults are a lifesaver. Oh, it must be interesting. I wonder if it's like if you're really good at CSS and like and whatnot, and then you go to Tailwind or whatever. Is it just like it's like oh, like the weights are just taken off, and you're just like, is it just like a huge relief of like a bunch of tedious things, or and is it necessary or is it good to have a good CSS background, like a raw CSS background? Pause. No ad blocker, dude. I have ad blocker pro, but it doesn't work apparently. And YouTube ads are honestly off. They're getting pretty nuts lately. Drop highlights list padding left. So we'll go degree highlights list. Padding left. So what we can do though is if all of these are going to be the same thing, let's just keep them together here. And then we can get rid of this altogether. And then we'll take this and apply it to that as well. Now everything is together. Now we can do work experience and education. And then if we want to split them up individually, we can as such. Okay. I don't ever want to touch your use Brave browser, no YouTube ads. Brave browser. It's like a whole browser extension though. It's good to have a raw CSS background, but well, the benefits of it are disputed. Yeah, seems like everything in CSS is in CS is disputed about what's the right way, what's not the right way. That's why chemistry is good because it's like true, false. That is false. That is true. That's a good result. That's a bad result. All right. Now, what else should we add for sections along this resume? Is there something else that we should be adding here as a major section for this overarching resume? Just initial index HTML. So the index is just going to be a resume section, And then we have an about, which will just give me a little bit of a description about myself. We have a projects, and then a community, which is where I will share stuff about the YouTube and the Discord and things like that. This really took us 2 hours to write and style, bro. How do people work fast in HTML? AI? They just get faster and faster, but it's like so much stuff you gotta like literally like write out every little thing. There must be like tools where you can convert like a Word doc to HTML or something, right? Just kind of speed up the process. Okay. So let me take this out of here as well. Body color black. You have to so you have to specify black there on the color for the text on href specifically. Huh. It took you 2 hours to actually understand and learn what you did. Productive 2 hours. Yes, very productive 2 hours. I understood everything I made here. Like I literally there was nothing here that I'm like, oh, what is that margin doing? No, I wrote every line here and made all the adjustments myself. Yeah, there are tool docs. Actually, there are tools which turn Markdown into code into HTML. You don't really need to know how a bicycle works to ride one. Yeah, okay, got you. That makes sense. You just gotta try it and do it. All right. Let's go ahead and... Is there any other section? So in my current resume, what I have is work experience. Well, at the top, I have an introduction, and I'm not going to do that this time around. The introduction section, I think it just like fuds things up, and it's honestly not needed. Recruiters don't care about it. They want to know what you know and what you don't know. Honestly, I've never had a recruiter or a headhunter reach out to me and say, hey, how are you on a personal basis? No, the first thing they ask me is, do you know this protein stuff? Do you know this lab technique? And if I don't, they hang up. So, so no introduction section. See you distracted. I appreciate you stopping in. Good night, bro. I'll see you tomorrow. Good work tonight. Appreciate you so much for your input. You're really helpful tonight. It like has defaults like nice colors and nice default sizing, and you apply CSS styles by naming the CSS styles in the HTML elements class lists. Oh. Interesting. If you guys wouldn't mind throwing a thumbs up or like a like if you guys could, just to before you leave, it helps to keep the streams going here. I appreciate you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. Okay, so now we have a margin bottom on the degree container. I want to make this 45 pixels. So do I need to add a comma here? Now okay, so you do need a comma, or it's inheritance. So let me bring this back to 35 pixels. So now we're getting our stylings on those. Okay, so now it's applying to both of those commas as a list. Ella Balaji! AJ, we're working on it, dude. Yeah, chromoplot.com. If you guys haven't visited the site, go check it out. It's very, very basic and simple in terms of a front-end framework, but it's on a free version of the server that's hosting it, so it's very, very slow to receive the plots. Everybody's saying just add Tailwind. We gotta learn. I gotta learn some CSS first. I gotta learn some basics here. But it will serve you the plot after like 45 seconds, so just give it some time. Brutal. Okay. So then, right after After the work experience and then education, I have skills and interests, personal honors, community efforts, and then references. Should I just leave this as this here with education? I'll add in a couple of education points, another couple of education points here. So let's go here. Let's say this is highest degree. Let's copy this. Let's say sub-degree, sub-education. So this is degree container, sub-degree container, number 1, degree container, the label 4, I turn this into just a paragraph rather than a label. I don't need a label. I just turn it into a paragraph. And then I don't need a 4. Right? And then I'll do the same thing to here. Move that. And then make this a P. And that should match up now with the jobs, who has position title here, this paragraph. Cool. Degree title, H3, position title, paragraph below that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, sub-education, container 1. Highlight 2 title, highlight 2. Highlight details, highlight details. Okay. Okay, that looks good. So now, should we start to populate this information? Make everything. That's what people are saying. I want to. We'll get to React eventually. I just want to really, you know, I want to walk before I run. I want to understand the HTML, understand the CSS, then combine them with React and whatever or whatnot. And I just want to just follow the trail. Now the thing is, you guys, is I guess like you kind of do dox yourself. Like if you're in college, you're showing your college, and everyone knows where that college is located, so everyone knows where you live. So the only thing is, by having this on my home page, is people will see my current position and they'll know what city I work in. Right. Unless I don't specify the city specifically. I'll walk this lonely road. What do you guys think? Include the city or just like state? If it's like a very public kind of thing, you know? I have hundreds of remote students. ... What's up, Paul? Welcome back in, dude. Appreciate you for joining me again tonight. You're awesome, man. Yeah, that's true, Tim. You know, I'm trying to have at least some anonymity to like the internet, right? But It's, you know, it just can be scary sometimes. You never know. You always try to be safe, but it's just, yeah, I get that. You dox yourself. I personally don't put any of that stuff because my portfolio isn't a resume. In my opinion, it's more of a marketing thing. Don't dox anyone, but yes, okay. So maybe like for an actual resume, like I can put it on there if they want that. But here I'll leave it off and just put the experience as like, you know, just the company, right? Okay, cool. I don't post any pictures of myself personally, online, personally, Instagram, private, no need. Yeah, I've taken down a lot of my kind of past online footprint, with like Instagram and stuff. I do have like a goofy profile picture for my LinkedIn, which I probably should change because I think it deters a lot of people. I got long hair. I'm in the backyard like doing a at home DIY chemistry experiment like 5 years ago. Teach how to hide your IP and make blog posts on that. What do you guys like? Also, like, what do you guys think about like? I kind of want to also make like a blog. I know it's kind of might sound stupid or whatever, it might sound silly, but we could add it to this site and I could, add entries basically just by updating my HTML to, you know, you know, uh, have like a working blog where every like month I'll post like a new like this is what I'm kind of wanting to accomplish this month, like just a like a couple of paragraph blog post entries, I kind of wanted to have that as one like an option as well for like my personal site. It's like a just like a journal, honestly, like an online journal that you guys can follow too. My personal thoughts and goals or whatever. Yeah, that's a good medium.com or dev.to. Medium.com or dev.to. But one thing about that is your content then exists on someone else's platform like this. You have. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Medium.com or dev.to if you want to write articles. Oh, so there's already like a blog kind of thing out there. Oh, okay. And people can like subscribe to your as like a member to get updates for your blog posts. Oh, maybe we could incorporate that into our page. Dev.to. You should do it. I preach this to my students. Yeah, many do have it in a blog, I think. It's not necessary, though. It's the way you think, though. The code is more important than an actual interview. And what I could do is I could even route this with Flask or with Fast API to like contain the entries as like text files, right? I could upload the txt file into the directory, have a function that pulls that, and then will make the blog post for me or something with Jinja syntax. I can have Jinja be my blog page and then auto update using a for loop all of my blogs that were extracted, right? Or something like that. No, I appreciate those. I didn't understand. Yeah, I got you, Ayamba. I like that idea. I think that's fun. I think that's a cool idea. We should do that. We should route this using Fast API or Flask, and then use Jinja to like automatically, generate a database of our entries. We could just have a database contain our entries of text rather than Yeah, but then you'll want headers in some style, and then you have Markdown. Oh, so AJ, you're saying that still need Markdown? I'm sorry, I'm not following you guys. What do you guys mean by then you still have Markdown? This is probably all we're going to kind of do for today. I'm probably going to wrap it up here soon. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 17 minutes tonight. We made some really good progress. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but it took me a good 2 hours to write these 100 lines of code here for actually getting these HTML like kind of structure set up and with some basic styling for these indentations. But we've got a good, I was able to take this 2 hours to set up my structure, and now basically I'm just copying and pasting my divs and renaming the classes because I just kind of took the extra 2 hours, the extra time in advance to structure everything kind of more universally, so then I could just copy and paste and then apply styles universally across multiple like instances of containers and things like that. So I think that'll help me like in the future to like add additional things or change things or whatnot. When you parse the text file, you may want to be able to include a header or special styling, which is what Markdown achieves. So then you can read like CS can like with open read Markdown files. Is there like a library in Python that can read Markdown and output like proper boilerplate for Markdown? Hey, Movie Media, thank you so much for coming in. I like your name. Okay. It's all text. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's go to our terminal here. Let's say git status. So git add all here. Let's go git commit. And we'll say index resume slash CV structure outline. Now we'll push this and we'll set an origin upstream on dev onto our remote branch. And so now we have git status here and we're all up to date on dev. Now if I go git checkout main, now this takes me back to my blank file here. Perfect. So because my main is just blank now so I'll go git checkout dev. Now I'm back on my dev branch, on my working dev branch. Cool. Abi, welcome back. Appreciate you for coming in. Astra gives you Markdown with headers. You'd have to implement a parser that converts Markdown to HTML. AJ, what is the status site generator in Python that has the most support? Okay. Okay. Cool. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and um, this is currently a public repo on my GitHub. So if you guys are wanting to fork this and follow along and generate your own kind of format as well, feel free. Now, I will say I'm going to be continually updating this and modifying it. So if you want to wait until like it's kind of finalized, then feel free to do that as well. But this is a great opportunity to maybe get some practice too alongside me. Okay, so this looks good. I think this is a good place for us to kind of take a pause. I will go ahead and fill in some of this information as we go here, but it's not super critical for the time being. So this is what it looks like for right now, where you have my name here, then you have the navigation bar over here, where you can get to the different pages of the page. We have employment experience and education. Everything lines up with about 2% margin on either end, or padding on this body. And then you have some specific margin here that takes place to kind of help kind of with the flow of these various bullet points. And so it looks really nice here. I might need to maybe extend this out just a couple more pixels so it kind of aligns up. I guess it's not super critical, but it looks okay. It's not terrible, but I might need to put like a display. So when it's in, I need to do something with this when it's in this shorter format, smaller format. So when it gets to like right here, right when that snaps down, I think I want to make that, we'll go by columns, right? And then I'll have this start to indent a little bit more as well. No haircuts in this economy. Yeah, we saving our money for stocks, my friend. All right, you guys. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and joining me tonight. It was really fun getting some more familiarity with, or getting more familiar with HTML and CSS, or just the raw instances of them. Pause. It was fun to just practice them and get this going. This is looking very clean. We'll clean it up with some light mode, dark mode feature, potentially with some JavaScript. We'll add in some different fonts and some spacing, some more spacing between these different elements and whatnot. And then we'll have to figure out a way to maybe like fill this space here with some sort of something or other, like either like an award or like or something that I can put here to show and whatnot. But yeah, and then we have an about, projects, community. We'll work on those sections tomorrow. But this is a good outline for this. Maybe I'll put, because I do have, we can put like a skills and interests. We can put like a personal honors, right, or certificates, or like and then we can also put like community efforts or something, right? Because I do have a community effort I mentioned in my Discord where when I was 17, I built a baseball field for a church, like an entire baseball field from like scratch. Like it was like abandoned, and it was like there's nothing left. It was just a field, and I mapped out and got a engineer to come out and map out, like a volunteer engineer to come out and map out a infield, and I got equipment donated to us to excavate out infield and build a backstop and build benches for dugouts and build base paths and put in the bases and build a pitcher's mound and a back and like and everything. And so it was a full baseball field, and it's literally called Michael Deming Field back in my hometown. So yeah. So I kind of want to. I think it'd be kind of cool to put that on here, like a community effort, and show a picture of like Michael Deming Field, like in its heyday, in its glory, and then, you know, yeah, it was part of like a my Eagle Scout final project, like the in order to like get that last ranking or whatever. Um, people, some people build, like I met that built like bridges for over like certain ponds and whatnot. Some people, my dad did like a huge just clothing drive, and like went around in like a big truck and just gathered a bunch of donations, and like a huge, filled the truck with old clothes, toys, just tons of stuff, huge box truck. um, but yeah, I did I made a baseball field for a church, a complete. Yeah, it's Michael Deming Field. I like the formatting there, but on larger screen there's too much white space, and I think that making more column on content could be distracting. Yes, definitely. So do you think that when we're in this home state, we should have it be centered, and then when we viewport inwards, we can have it come to the left and to the right? Well, I kind of like it to the left and right. I think it's kind of clean. But yes, we do need to figure out what to do here then. Maybe I could just put like a rotating slideshow of just like some pictures of like, like some of my times at work, or like I have pictures from like work and stuff, like company events or things, or like, and then like maybe from school, like a picture of me like walking or something. I don't know, like just like a carousel of images. 1980 subs. Thank you guys so much. 1980. We're 20 away. We're going to push for 2K this weekend. If we're not at 2K, we're going to do a 2K stream where I don't stop until we hit it. So it'll probably be like, we'll probably honestly hit 2K before I even get to that point. But I like the idea of like a carousel of images, and then in the viewport we can just get rid of it. 64-hour stream. You think it's gonna take 64 hours to get 20 subs? Come on, hating out here. If you want to check out the site I worked on this semester, I can DM you a link so you can see what very little CSS knowledge will get you design wise using Tailwind. Yeah, sure, dude. Throw it in you might have to throw it in the Twitch or in Discord. But I'm probably going to sign off here after we check that out. This was a great stream here today, guys. I really, really appreciate you guys being here and joining me. It's been, really fun hanging out with you guys. We were able to get this structure going for our portfolio site here, kind of like our 1-year wrap-up project regarding our our 11 months so far of programming. Okay, let's go check it out here. Yeah, dude, where is Mahan? Where'd you throw it? I'll send on Discord. Okay. We'll wait for that here for you. There it is. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Yeah, it looks clean. What is this? Better Evidence Project? Begin your search here. Oh, Better Evidence. Is it like a accredited resource place you can use to provide in-text citations? Let's look up like plants. Huh. Cool. Dude, I think Mahang, like honestly, because we weren't solving his leak codes, I think he quit on us. He thought that we weren't supporting him. It's a resource for George Mason University. Awesome, dude. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off today. I'm gonna go make some dinner here and hang out with my pup. But I'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. PST. We'll continue on with our portfolio site and probably take a crack at a leak code problem. We need to keep going with that. Anyways, I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. You guys can get access and follow along to this repo on GitHub and keep going here on this portfolio. So this has been awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.